Miamee's on fire. At least that's what people say.
Yes.
And today we are going to talk about some very important issues in Miami, issues that impact us in every corner of every neighborhood in this community. We are a very diverse community of all kinds of people, all kinds of histories and culture that has made us so special that everyone wants to move here. Everyone wants to invest here. Everyone wants to build here. They want to have one house, two house, three house, as many businesses as possible. Banks are moving here. Amazon, Ken Griffin, all these people want to live here. Why? Because we have the type of culture and ideas that are the envy of the world. Today, I am very lucky to introduce you to our friend here from the city of North Miami. She is the vice mayor. Tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I am Vice Mayor Kassandra Timothe, also the councilwoman for District 2 in the city of North Miami. And I get to serve on the city council to, impact and change lives in the city of North Miami. And as a homegrown, born and raised in North Miami, it's an honor to serve in the city I call home.
Vice Mayor, I am also very lucky because when I started at the Miami Herald, one of my first jobs was actually to cover politics in the city of North Miami. And I remember one of my memories was I almost got a ticket from a police officer because I tried to turn onto West Dixie and almost got into an accident there.
Well, West Dixie's closed off now. You can't even turn.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Why is that?
So that hub was there was a lot of traffic. Well, there's a lot of accidents. So FDOT actually closed West Dixie. So there's some places you can't even turn anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's good to know. Because otherwise I might have gotten another ticket. But the reason why we're here with the vice mayor, who's kind enough to join us, is that we want to talk about temporary protected status for Haitians, Venezuelans, and a bunch of other people who have been afforded the opportunity to be in the United States and be able to work and create lives for themselves here. And in the case of Haitians, there's an enormous decision that came down from the U.S. Supreme Court that's going to have reverberations in our city for a generation. And I want us to talk about that and understand what's happening so that we can all take action and make sure that we can do everything in our power to prevent Haitians from being deported. So can you tell us a little, Vice Mayor, about what it was that the Supreme Court decided and what is supposed to happen next?
So the Supreme Court decided in a 6-3 decision that the government has the ability to end TPS. It did not say whether the government was right in doing so by determining did the status, change in the country, is the country safe to return. They pretty much gave, the administration the go ahead to say, hey, you can green light deportation if you want to end this program that is under, DHS, which is one of the secretaries that the president's able to appoint. So now the government has the authority now to end protective statuses for, individuals, I think is in 19 different countries that currently has TPS. It happened, a couple of months ago for Venezuelans, now Haitian and Syrians, next maybe Honduran. So pretty much it green lighted the administration and giving them that authority to start, to end this protective status. So what happens next for over 350,000 individuals who currently have TPS? On July 10th, their work permit expires, so they're no longer able to work. They won't have driver's license that are valid. So on July 10th, you're going to see a lot of employers let go individuals in different industries. Certain industries will feel it way more. That's why you're seeing the healthcare industry speak out about it. Congressman Jimenez is speaking out about it because we know that it will create almost like an economic catastrophe here in Miami-Dade County on July 10th when these work status are ended for our Haitian brothers and sisters here in Miami-Dade County. But that doesn't mean that there's not a legal pathway. I was fortunate enough to sit on some panels with some very prominent immigration attorneys who provided, free legal services to our community and ensuring that there may be a pathway. We're not saying that there's a guaranteed legal pathway, but there may be a pathway for individuals to sit down and talk to an immigration HLA, the Haitian Lawyers Association is providing free consultations to the community to see if you have a viable chance. So we're, letting folks know, don't waste your time, get an attorney now, sit down, consult, see if you have a legal pathway to determine if there's a way for you to stay here legally in the country. But as of July 10th, it's going to be a major hit for our community.
So talking about impact, 1 out of every 23 people in our community is Haitian. 1 out of 23. And Haitians make up, or Haitian ancestry makes up about 4 to 5% of the country's total population. And the reason why that's important is because often when we hear about impacts to our community, we sort of lose sight because it doesn't feel like it comes home. But the reality is when you go into Walgreens, when you go into CVS, when you go into a hospital, pharmacy, when you visit with your auntie or your mother-in-law or your grandmother, all these places are going to be impacted by this. Why is that? Because all those places have people working in them that are Haitian. Tourism, so hotels are going to be hugely impacted. That community, taxi drivers, all those people. So it's going to be as though an entire group of people just disappeared in our city if this goes through and if there isn't another pathway through. We need to understand that these are our family. This is our family. These are the people that take care of us every day, that are in our schools, that are our teachers, that, do daycare, that impact us every way we can think of it in this community. And of all the things, as we began the show, that we talked about, is that the reason why people want to be here is because of what we have created, this cultural mix that has enriched our lives and made us, a very special and unique place in the world. So talking about July 10th, I want to understand that better, right? Because there are a lot of different types of status in our country, immigration status. You can be a citizen, you can have a green card, you can be someone from outside that can visit here and work here part of the time. You can have temporary protected status. So talk a little about what's happening on July 10th. And as you do that, our friend Peter Zalewski just arrived. He's on the snail bus way again.
And Vice Mayor.
Hi, how are you?
Right. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
I'm
as
sorry
well.
about running late. I was telling you, I put in an order at Chez Bebe on 54th Street.
Oh, wow.
It took a little bit longer. I wanted to get extra pickles. It wasn't
So you know
spicy enough,
the culture.
Peter loves spice.
Yeah, but ultimately, I apologize for being late.
No,
Yes.
you're fine.
I'm really looking forward to what you have to say, and I'm less interested in what this guy has to say. Right?
No,
It's true. As usual, we have a great rapport. So getting back to what's important instead of Peter.
July, Pickles is very important.
Yes.
And if anybody hasn't had it,
Yes.
you need to have it.
No.
It's cabbage.
It's carrots.
It's carrots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Celery.
I know how to make it.
Okay.
I actually make my own pickles. I use
He
the
does.
Scotch bonnet. I go to the Bravo over on 54th.
Oh, you are really, you have your Haitian card.
I have legume. I have all of it.
You have all of it.
In fact, the Haitian cuisine, it's not spicy enough for me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
okay.
spicy enough. Yeah, I was in Port-au-Prince.
Okay.
I've been there. I visited. I've had it. I taught the cooks a little bit, but pretty good path.
No.
So now that 10 minutes have passed, listening to your story, I was telling the vice mayor, who's very kind to
I
listen
heard
to
her,
me,
and you didn't shut up. You just kept going on and on and on.
that there is actually a Zalewski population in Haiti. Is that true?
From everything I heard, Polish, Kassandra.
No, I think I've heard
A
it.
little bit north. There's like a Polish community.
Oh,
I guess
wow.
it's part of the whole rebellion against Napoleon. Yeah, the Polish soldiers, they threw in with the Haitians. They took out the French.
Wow.
Yeah. So
All right.
anyways,
Learn something
Enough
new.
of a distraction.
Sorry.
So I want to make sure that everyone understands July 10th, right? Because today is July 9th. Tomorrow is the 10th. So what happens on the 10th? That the work permits are basically rejected, that they end? Is that what happens?
Yeah, work authorization ends. So if you're on TPS, you have a license that says temporary, and it pretty much, that's that's the date it expires and you can no longer renew it. And work authorization also expires. So for individuals who, if they're going through the E-Verified process, your system is going to tell you that this person no longer has, legal documentation in order to work here in our country. So that happens tomorrow. And you're going to see industries, are going to take a huge hit starting tomorrow. So like you mentioned, you talked about the healthcare industry, CNAs, those who are taking care of the elderly. I know nurses who are on TPS, people in the education system. You're going to see a lot of people who go dark and they just may hide it out, or there may be individuals who self-deport. I have seen a few started that process because you don't want to risk an opportunity, especially with laws changing in Tallahassee, if you're caught driving and your license expired and now you're pulled over, now you're in the system, now you're in an immigration hold because you had TPS and now you're on the verge of being deported. So there's a lot of factors that's going to go into play. Hopefully there'll be no ICE raids here in South Florida, but it's a kind of good thing is an election cycle. So, maybe, the government focus won't be here because they know that, hey, we need to keep people in office in November, but it gets scary. And when you talk about TPS, 350,000 individuals with TPS who are here legally working, that has a legal status that is now no longer legal, that impact is in the billions.
That's right.
It is in the billions. There was some studies done by SEIU and some other folks that determined that the economic impact for individuals that are in TPS are in the billions. So you're going to see, it's going to be a huge hole that now folks will have to fill in these roles, and there's some jobs that people just don't want to do anymore because everyone wants to be a content creator, or they really
Oscar's one of the influencer types. Trust me, it's true. He's got a side gig. You don't want to go to his OnlyFans page. You don't want to check that out.
So folks, it's sad, but you're running into a generation who doesn't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to do those type of work. So this is going to be huge starting tomorrow. Tonight there's going to be a rally at the Little Haiti Culture Center to also raise awareness at 5:30, so folks can stand with us and make their voices heard, because hopefully we make enough noise. Maybe DC hears and extend it for another 30 days. The president has talked about the tourism industry or the agriculture industries, because now the farmers are taking a hit. So seeing what they can do there. So I feel like there may be some exemptions. We can only hope and pray, because Trump has his Trump Towers there. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Haitian individuals working in his hotel. Right. So when he starts to feel it in his industry, I think that's when people are going to start looking up and saying, hey, they're working here. There's maybe like a 1%, I think a 1% study that show that those that are in TPS are actually violent offenders that needs to be taken out of the country. And those have been addressed. And, they're the easy folks to come after. But, the 90-something% are here working, contributing to our economy. They're going to school. They're getting an education. And they deserve to stay here. And it's not just, those that have been here maybe for like 2 or 3 years, but there's folks on TPS for 20, 30 years that own homes, that have U.S. born children, that are now like, what do I do with my assets? What do I do with my home and my cars? And now they have to get an estate attorney and maybe put something in a trust to try to determine how do they protect what they have here in case something were to happen. So you're seeing a influx of fear from the community on all ends.
And I was going to say, the Haitian community has a significant impact on our overall cultural community down here in South Florida, what I would tell you, to the point where there's one of the great American writers called Tom Wolfe. Tom Wolfe came to town and he wrote a book called Back to Blood. Back to Blood, it was based on a bunch of different diasporas based in Miami and how it all kind of came together. And there was a crucial character in the book which is of Haitian descent. So this is not something that people just, they tend to ignore the Haitian presence here. And I think the problem is, from my perspective, and the Haitian people I know, they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to let their voice be heard. And as a result, they don't say anything. They're not the greasy, like the squeaky wheel that's getting the attention. And I think as a result, it might actually be working against them. The fact that they're just keeping their heads down, they're doing what they're doing. Everybody I know, I think, is legal. They're all doing what they do. But they came here You had an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bad earthquake that still hasn't been cleaned up. You have gang violence. I was watching a video today. They're going to neighborhoods in the mountains, forcing everybody out. You grab your bag and you leave. You don't know where you're going. So if, in fact, the end of TPS and the deportations, you're sending these people into a situation. I mean, our neighbors who were in the restaurants, who were in the hospitals, who were everywhere, you're going to send them back into a situation that simply doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of people, they don't feel it's right. It's absolutely not right. And I realize it's political, it's this, it's that. But at the end of the day, these are our neighbors. These are people we cook for, they cook for, we're interacting, we're having a great time. We go to the Haitian festival every year. We go to the Caribbean marketplace over in Miami. I go up to North Miami. I check out some of the different places. Yeah. But I, for some reason, I think if the Haitian community, diaspora, spoke up more, and it's a difficult time right now because the language is very fiery. But I think if the Haitian community spoke up more, it might get a little bit more reaction. Because some of the groups that really kind of get the attention, they're creating the headlines. And I never see the Haitian community really planting that flag and being, but the ones I know simply say, keep your head down because otherwise they're going to target you. So it's a push-pull.
It's a fear factor that's also happening, especially with birthright, right? I'm glad that, the president didn't get that win, but that also had a lot of people fearful to know that, hey, if I wasn't born in this country or if my parents were here legally, there may be an opportunity for, my birthright citizenship to be, just taken from you. So I think that also created a scare. In the Haitian community, you will find times where, how do I say this to be politically correct, right?
Say it straight.
But you're gonna find folks that are their family members who probably came in and they didn't come the right way. So now they're afraid, but they might be a citizen as of today, but because of something in their past that they're afraid that might come up, they're afraid to stand up. So what you're seeing now is individuals like myself who are who parents are, Haitian immigrants who came here who are now citizens. I can speak up because I was born here. I'm not afraid, right?
Yes.
But those who are from Haiti that might be a U.S. citizens, they are afraid to speak up because they do feel that, they're going to come and take my citizenship. And so I think that is a huge factor why you're not seeing it. You have the Marlene Bastiens who've been speaking up, for years, who's now a county commissioner. She can't stop speaking up, right? You have the Gypsy Metellises who are doing the good work with Suntlie and the Jean Monestines and, my city clerk actually right now in the city of North Miami, Vanessa Joseph, she is the president of the National Haitian American Elected Official Network. And what that is an organization that has all Haitian American elected officials throughout the entire United States. So Haitians have presence right now in 19 states, from state senators to, New York Assembly members to, here in South Florida where we have the huge amount of numbers. But, and her being that chair, she's, trying to galvanize the group, right? And, that's why they're organizing the rally tonight. But then you're still seeing maybe 5 or 10 or 20 people show up. And this is where I think we have to get, I feel like the Haitian community has to get a little bit creative and bring in our Venezuelans, bring in our Cuban community, bring in our Honduran, let everyone stand up for us because we can't stand up for ourselves. So this is where we have to, I've called on my rabbis in North Miami. He stood by and prayed with us when we had the rally with Commissioner King at the Little Haiti Culture Center. But, it's going to take different groups coming together and saying, hey, we don't want this to happen to our Haitian brothers and sisters. It's the, the seniors in the Jewish community. There's a Jewish senior center that they put out a letter and they're like, hey, we love our Haitian workers here in our community. We don't want to lose them, that they're afraid. So it's, hey, reaching out to your network and telling them stand with us. If we can't rally, if we can't protest because they're afraid, this is where we have to count on our counterparts to join us in this fight.
So I think also people need to understand that temporary protected status meant that the people that were under that status were here legally, right? So the whole argument that there needs to be some, focus on people that are here illegally, the Haitians that are under that status are here legally. They're legally able to work. They're legally able to live here, send their kids to school, go to the doctor, go to the hospital, go to their churches. The history of Haitians in Miami specifically, in 2001, we had our first Haitian American mayor in North Miami. It was Joe Celestin. And I remember those days, and it was a national story. We took so much pride in that fact because Haitians who had come here had had grown up in this community and become leaders, people that would be elected to office. It's so hard to be elected.
Correct.
And in North Miami, we had the first Haitian American mayor. Incredible story. And part of the issue also is that, like in Ohio during the last election, there was this whole thing about Haitians who were being attacked because of allegations that were completely 100% not 100% wrong. And what the governor has come out and said after the Supreme Court's decision is that all these people that are in his city were there because the city was dying and Haitians helped bring it back to life, and they were there legally. They were under TPS protection. So think about that for a minute, because in our community, everyone who's here has someone they are connected to who is Haitian, whether it's the person working for to keep their family healthy, right? To make their hotel.
Don't forget
beds.
the jitney driver.
The jitney
driver
The
taking
taxi
up
driver.
163rd Street.
Peter was just talking about. Peter was just talking about
a little bit tight
food.
though. A little bit tight on that jitney.
The food that he loves. There's a Haitian book fair every year at the marketplace. Little Haiti is a place where you can find a lot of different type of Haitian experiences.
Great
like
bookstore.
Havana.
Great bookstore.
Not as big, but still, it's a place where you can go to and understand the community better. But you don't have to go that far, because you just knock on your neighbor's door and they're either your neighbor, or they're helping your neighbor, or they have the restaurant up the street, or they're in the hotel bringing your luggage up to your room. That's the reality here. And what we need to do today at 5:30 is the Haitian Marketplace.
The Haitian
event.
Marketplace, there's going to be a rally. We're calling on all communities to come together and stand with the Haitian brothers and sisters, because, I'll be there tonight. I'm calling on other colleagues and members to join us, because we have to make noise. We have to send a signal. We have to send the waves to Congress. Maybe the Senate will, pick up and pass the legislation that the Congress passed that would extend TPS for another 3 years. Although the president has signaled that he wouldn't sign it, but it's only we can only hope, right? We can only keep fighting and pushing for something to keep going, even if it may be dead on arrival. But who knows? But we want to show that, hey, there's different communities standing with us, and for the House to pass it with bipartisan support, that speaks volumes, because everyone says the House is crazy, right? And the Senate's kind of calm, but they were able to do so because even they realized that, hey, let's keep them, let's keep them here. Let's keep the economy going, because you're going to see unemployment numbers go down. You're going to see, folks are struggling. They're struggling now to keep their doors open with finding good workforce labor. But and it's really unfortunate.
We're in a red state, and the red state loves to talk about capitalism and capitalism. Okay, so let's talk capitalism. The Haitian impact on real estate. They own stuff. They rent stuff. They fix stuff. They're involved with stuff. Your community, that's a large Haitian population. Do you have any ballpark figure, percentage-wise, demographics, in terms of how it breaks out?
So,
just to give people an idea. And then of that, what percentage is homesteaded in terms of primary residence?
So about 40% of our community, we're roughly around 40% of our community is of Haitian descent.
Okay, and your population?
And our population is about 65,000.
Right, so 40%, so we're talking 30,000 people.
Correct. And in North Miami, we have almost 80% of our homes are homesteaded. So you're talking, folks who are here, living here, some of them, it may not be their homesteaded property, but homestead is pretty much where our butter is coming from.
And these people are paying property tax.
Correct.
2%, well, if they homestead, they lock it in, but 2% annually, that's going into the coffers of the county. Mayor Cava, you get 2%, you get a portion of that. It's going to the city. It's also going to the school board.
Correct.
All the money is going there to contribute to the overall well-being of educating the students, policing the streets, just doing what we do as a community.
Correct.
So if they want to talk about just deporting these people or kicking them out or more importantly, making them feel unwelcome and they're paying their taxes. Why don't they get a fair shake? Like everybody else gets a fair shake.
And the unfortunate part is that for a lot of individuals who are on TPS, like you just hearing their stories, and I have family members who are on TPS, they thought it was like, hey, this is a legal pathway. I have it. I had it for so many years. I think I can, keep it. They never thought that it was going to end, or they never thought that there would, be a cease to that program, because everyone wants to say T is for temporary. They should have known that. But at the same time, too, you have an administration that is hiking up the fees for these applications. To apply for any type of program, it's costing anyone at the minimum $5,000 with application fees and whoever you're utilizing to fill it out for you. If you have to go to see an attorney because you might have to make a stronger case for yourself, but not everyone has $5,000 to $10,000 at their disposal to say, hey, let me throw this down a case. But it's unfortunate because you've had TPS holder who were held up in maybe in ICE detention center. I had a loved one who also was held up but had an approved permanent resident application, was married to someone who's a U.S. citizen. They've been together for years, but had an old deportation order on his system that he had to get lifted. And of course, these judges are not taking cases, rapidly. So it was pending and he got picked up, and it's unfortunate, but he was able to, pay the legal fees. And, it's not the regular bond where you're paying 10%. You have to pay 90% of that bond sometimes to get out. So it cost him about $20,000 between legal fees, bond, just to go through that process. And thank God he had already a legal pathway in motion. It was just taking forever. And so you're going to find a lot of these individuals in similar situations where they might have an approved I-130 for a relative, or they're already married to a U.S. citizen, or, waiting for that green card application to be approved. But if there's something else pending that, might need to be addressed, it's unfortunate, but there's where the loophole, when it gets scary for folks, because they're hearing it, they're seeing it. And so you're seeing individuals who are just like, okay, well, what do I do? Because maybe you can't afford to go down that path and have to pay $20,000 just to get out. It's a lot.
And if you've been here 20 years, you've been vetted. If you're doing some shady stuff, Oscar, I'm not looking at you, but if you're doing shady stuff, chances are you would have popped up on the radar.
Correct.
So if you're just laying low and you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you're going to be targeted. But I do want to make a comparison. I was in Colombia in the 1990s. 1990s, you couldn't travel from city to city in Colombia by road. You had to fly, which is, from what I understand, is what's going on in Haiti. If you were flying out, you're not flying out of Port-au-Prince, you're flying out of Cape Haitian.
Correct.
And in order to get there, you either take a helicopter, you take a small plane, whatever the case might be. So you can't actually travel freely in
the country.
In Haiti. What did the United States do back then? They had something called Plan Colombia. They brought out Plan Colombia. They threw all this cash after wiping out the narcos. They drove them all over the Venezuelan border. And then we end up with what we have. You have a situation that, in my opinion, I'm not a political expert by any means, but I've been to both places and I've seen it. You have a situation in Haiti where basically all of the cities are cut off because you have gangs who are basically doing what the Colombians called fishing. They'd be a fishing situation. You drive through, they'd stop you, they go through, they would kidnap people, they do all the time. It's the same situation. The United States was throwing $1 billion a year to Plan Colombia to try to clean it up. What is the United States, and this could be rhetorical because you're an elected official, what is the United States doing to solve the problem in Haiti? At the same time, we drove a lot of work over to China, and Haiti was one of the countries benefiting from something President Reagan put in place called Caribbean Basin Initiative. Where you would take U.S. apparel, you'd ship it over to Haiti, you ship it over to parts of the Caribbean, they would assemble it, and then they return it back duty-free, and therefore people were making money, U.S. investment was going in there. So, what is the Haitian diaspora, what's the community supposed to do if it's very comparable to where Colombia was 25 years ago, and at the same time China has taken a lot of the business, and now Vietnam and India and places like that. And I don't know if the Haitians want to be here. I think they're forced to be here because of security as well as economic conditions that a lot of what's going on in Washington is influencing.
Correct. And we have to talk about the gang violence, right? So when you're talking about the gang violence, Haiti does not make ammunition. All of the ammunition are coming from U.S. soil. So if we want to talk about, drying up the gangs.
Yes.
Let's address what's happening at the ports. Let's address what's happening with the ammunition that are American made, that are leaving the soils here and heading over to Haiti, because at some point your bullets have to run out. And it's sad, but the government is also controlling some of the gangs, right? So there's a lot of corruption happening here. Our police officer worked with the UN and he understood the mission. So you have folks who are coming in training, right? So the UN would come and do training, and hey, we're training these individuals how to do these technical stuff, and then hey, the government comes in, hey, let's squash this, forget about this, because they want to control what's on the ground. So you're dealing with politicians who are not that are corrupt. Then you're also dealing with the gang violence that's happening, that is being attributed here by the ammunition's coming in. But then at the same time too, if the United States really wanted to get involved, not sending Kenya officers to Haiti.
But I think the Kenyans are gone, right? Didn't they replace it with a different?
Yeah, like we want they want to say that they're doing something, but you have to let's address the immediate. What can we be done right now? Let's address the ammunition coming in, because
that's a pretty good first step.
That's a pretty good first step.
Go ahead, eliminate the influx of
ammunition.
Weaponry.
Ammunition. No guns. And we don't factor guns. We don't factor ammunitions at this point. At that point, the gangs would kind of they don't have nothing to shoot at, right? Because you have no bullets. So I think that's the first thing that the United States needs to address is seeing that. And I know they're trying to train the Haitian National Police, and there's money in the budget every year to train them. But Haiti has to create its own. At one time, they were trying to create its own army to protect itself, and that was said, hey, it was looked upon as, no, you shouldn't do that. And so if you're a country that can't protect itself, your police is not trained. It's sad, but I was talking to the ambassador at one point, and they're afraid that Haiti may be a failed state because of the levels of corruption, because of how do you address it in once you get to one level, you realize, hey, you can't even go that way because, there's some influence from higher up that is causing it to stop. Like when you think about it, the president was assassinated.
Yes. By people who organized it in Miami.
South Florida, yeah. So to think about
using mercenaries from Colombia.
Correct.
Who were trained in part, some would say, would plan Colombia money, which came 20 years ago when the United States was trying to drive the narcos out of Colombia, and they ultimately went into Venezuela. So, again, I'm not a political expert, but, you watch it long enough.
And you're just like, come on now. At some point, something has to stop. And, the gangs are constantly recruiting young folks. So now you have a system where kids can't get an education. People can't feed their family. And police officers are afraid. We were talking to the officer today, and they were showing, one of the gang members was showing a police officer who was aiding to stop the gangs, but he was, mutilized on a public platform, cut off his ears and forced to eat it, cut off his leg, and the gangs are showing you this to kind of instill fear in the community. If you work against us, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna kidnap you, and we're gonna make it brutal. I can't even stomach or even talk about it, but to know that that's happening, it's a concern, because now the community is afraid, and now you're gonna send an influx of people back into that community who may not even have home or family members, who may not, they don't have a leg to stand on to now go create something in a country that they don't know or has changed significantly since they've been there. It's it's a level 4 travel advisory. It says do not travel. How are you going to ship 350,000 Haitians back to Haiti?
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, if I can ask one question,
only one?
Do you think Haiti is at a disadvantage in the Americas because it speaks French? Do you think if it was a Spanish-speaking country, it might? I don't know. It might just.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That doesn't sound right.
No, but I'm just saying, look at the DR. Look at the wall. The wall on the other side.
Yeah, DR is pretty developed, and people are visiting.
You have the DR, and La Romana. You got Punta Cana. You got all these places, and then you look at Haiti, and it's like, what's the divide?
I think Haiti is still being punished for being the first Black republic. When you have a Black a country in 1804 at a time where the Commonwealth is picking up Caribbean countries, and they're telling all the resources that are here in Haiti as well, Clinton's has a mining company and all that other stuff, but there's lots of resources in that country. And when you have this country that shows that, hey, slaves can now revolt, I think we were kind of punished. And then of course France is pay me back, and that crippled the economy, because who pays someone for getting their independence back? It's unheard of. So billions of dollars has, crippled the country. And then you have influx of bad deals. Like, it's sad to know that the rice field, like, we were a country that we were able to make our own rice field, but now you had the Arkansas farmers who were struggling and you wanted to take over the rice field. So now Haitians are eating imported rice that were filled with plastics, and our homegrown rice was being sent somewhere else to be sold at a higher price. So there were just bad deals. I think all of that plays a role in why Haiti isn't where it's supposed to be today, because of bad deals, bad infrastructure, and then of course bad politics, of course, is involved with it, because you have folks who come here and they say, hey, there's a country, there's cheap labor, they have agriculture, let's see what we can take out of it, and in exchange for us doing well. And I think that's what happened. And I think it's unfortunate with the last president. He was really trying to do a lot. He started an airport. I think he just was talking to the wrong people, because when you hear that, you're talking to Russia and other folks, people are kind of like, okay, afraid. So I don't know what happened there, but I know he was trying to move the country along. And of course, not everyone is going to agree with it, but you saw some progress. Like, I was able to visit Haiti, I think in 2016, and I saw roads that were dirt roads, and now there's highways, because they realized we have to provide access for transportation. We have to open up our roadways in order for folks to be able to do business here. And then you saw individuals like Donna Claren had a factory there where they were making clothes. The Gap had a factory, and they had clothes being made in Haiti. So there were businesses coming, and they were investing in Haiti and investing in the community. But then at some point, government changes and all hell.
Well, one of the things we also want to understand is the political impact locally and the leadership impact, right? We talked about Mayor Celestine a little bit. North Miami is a focal point for Haitian leadership, has been for a long time. Tell us a little about some of the things that are going on in North Miami and how Haitians are contributing to that success, because there's a lot of money coming into North Miami, a lot of big projects. Can you talk a little about that?
Sure. When I was elected back in 2021, I gave the city of North Miami a super majority of Haitian. So we've had, the mayor was Haitian, 2 of the councilperson were Haitian, and I took over a seat, and I became the 4th out of 5 elected officials that were elected in our city. So we have a predominantly Haitian council, probably the only council that probably in the whole United States. And then we also saw an uptick of Haitian individuals running throughout the whole state of Florida. I think that year there was like 14. My late colleague Nancy Mater was elected in Coral Spring as the first Haitian American. Linda Julian was elected in Miami Gardens. You had Marlene Massin, reelected to the first woman elected in the county. So you saw a lot of young, some old, running for office.
She's looking at you.
But running for office in these positions, and where it's something about the resilience in our community that we want to impact change. We want to see our communities thrive. And in North Miami, when I was elected, we were dormant for a while. Like, North Miami went 50 years, didn't see any development. And then we had the Solomia deal that happened, and ever since that,
Biscayne Boulevard.
Biscayne Boulevard. Solomia. And it pretty much...
Which, by the way, was a super fun site. This is a site amazing. They used to drop whatever the heck they wanted.
Correct.
And now all of a sudden you were getting this new development.
Luxury,
yes. Yeah. It's a $1 million an acre.
Jeffrey Sofer.
Yeah, Jeffrey
Sofer. Fountain Blue, everybody to Fountain Blue, guys. The Aventura Mall guys. They're building there with Richard Lefrak.
Correct.
They're building all of that. And you have FIU's North Campus there.
FIU North Campus there. So you have this 183-acre site that's being redeveloped into this master community. And then then Johnson and Wells left, and then that area
Johnson and
Wells left, and then that area is not up for grabs. It's being redeveloped.
It's incredible.
You have Related Group building in our city. You have all of these developers that are now looking at North Miami, because we're at a center point. We're like 30 minutes from Miami Airport, 30 minutes from Fort Lauderdale. Like, Biscayne, Aventura, you can get anywhere from North Miami. And we're like, we were a flat city, but now we're going up. We're starting to see a lot of redevelopment. Our park that has been promised to the community since 2005, Catney Park, is finally, in the ground being developed.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot of development. You're seeing a lot of young families. People are, buying homes here. We're probably one of the last cities in Miami-Dade County that has affordable housing. And we've been fighting for more affordable housing. So, we're still seeing homes in the 400s, but then of course you have the homes in the millions of dollars as well. That's on the water. But we're seeing a community that changed, but still it still has its character. It still has its diversity. It still has their Haitians. There's Venezuelans. There's Hondurans. Like we have even an Asian population. Like,
well, you know what else is there? You want to know what else is there, Oscar?
What is that?
You don't have a clue about this one.
All right, I'm ready.
The Czech American Club is located.
Yes.
Everybody, the Czech American Club is located there. I've been there multiple times.
Yes.
I go for the Czech Festival. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
We actually just gave them a grant from our CRA.
Beautiful piece of dirt.
Yeah.
Right on like a canal or a
on a
river or
canal.
something.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Beautiful piece of dirt.
Oh,
look at that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. So North Miami is changing. We're development, and we're also very, very diverse. So you're going to see a little bit of everything in North Miami.
That's incredible. And if you drive through the main strip, which is 125th Street, you'll see all these new apartment buildings that are being built. And it's remarkable because for many years, 2 stories was maybe the norm, 3 max. And now you're seeing 8 stories, 10 stories. There's a warehouse district in North Miami.
Correct.
So all this leadership is bringing new investment, new ideas.
Brewfest is
to
in
the
North
city.
Miami. I don't know if you guys ever been to Brewfest.
Brewfest?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't been to Brew? It's the same group that the Soapy Food and Wine Fest. They created the Brewfest. It's
When is
a
that?
beer. It's always in November.
Oh.
The third Saturday in November.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's
That's awesome.
a really good time. If you love beer, you're gonna taste all types of beer there. It's
That's
really
great.
good.
So we want to talk a little about what people can do to communicate to their leaders that this is unacceptable. This idea that Haitians are going to be deported is unacceptable, that Venezuelans are going to be deported, that Syrians are going to be deported, who are protected by TPS legally, who were here legally, suddenly are now vulnerable to being deported. Tonight, there's going to be an event at the Haitian Marketplace, which is 212 Northeast 59 Terrace, 212 Northeast 59 Terrace. So it's on 2nd
They're
Avenue.
going to be selling griot or anything? Any
you
kind
could
of
probably
food?
get it next
Nothing like that?
door.
There's going to be some stuff.
All right, as long as there's some stuff.
Sure.
Barbacoa, no, we're going to have any of this?
Great food, great music. People perform, individual singers. I've seen that in the event that happened when TPS first came up, when it was being adjudicated in lower courts and heading to the Supreme Court. There was a big event that was held at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. There's going to be that tonight. What else can people do? Go there tonight, but what else? Who can they call? Who should they be talking to?
Yes.
How can they volunteer? Get their energy into this program.
So the first thing that you can do is you can definitely advocate. We have 2 U.S. senators that has been very quiet on this issue, Rick Scott and Ashley Moody.
Oh, is Rick Scott still there? I haven't heard from that guy for
For a long time.
I thought he was done once he became governor.
No, he's our U.S. senator, and I recall him visiting some Haitian churches and asking for the Haitian voters.
Wow.
This is the time to email Senator Rick Scott, email U.S. Senator Ashley Moody, who's on the ballot in November.
That's true.
And you ensure that, hey, you need to speak up for this community. At least put out a statement. They have been dead silent. So you can reach out to your U.S. state senator. If you're not in Florida or wherever state you are, reach out to your U.S. senators and you tell them, hey, please act upon this and extend TPS for the next 3 years. The House already passed the bill. The Senate can take it up. It just shows an act of courage from our elected leaders to just speak up and not remain, silent when issues like this are affecting your community, because it's not just your Haitian community, but it's every community. There's 19 designated countries that TPS could end, in the next couple of months. So it was Venezuela, it's Haitians, Syrians, Honduran. Like, it's a lot of folks that are going to be affected if they decide to just say, what the hell with it? Let's end all TPS. So please reach out to your U.S. senators. Come out to the rally tonight and speak up.
Are you going to be there?
If you're driving, I don't have a car. I haven't had a car since 2013. If you're driving, no. You know what we got to do? Let's meet at the pickup point in downtown Miami for the jitney. We'll jump on a jitney. We'll go on. And by the way, you're paying for the jitney. I'm not paying. I think it's like $2.50 now. They actually raised the price because of the affordability.
That's right.
The inflation is going.
I know it was like 50 cents. I think when I used to.
Wow, that's a big increase. I don't know that I can handle that.
It's like 5x.
Yeah,
that's incredible. And we can go to tonight's event. We can join with our friends. There's going to be a convocation of some kind with from the Catholic Church that's nearby.
Which is what, Notre Dame?
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Right.
Yeah, which is probably one of the largest Haitian churches.
And if anybody, it doesn't matter what denomination you are, who you believe, who you pray to, go to a mass on a Sunday, because what you're going to find is a choir that is just like overwhelming. Probably the closest I would compare it to is St. Patrick's over in Miami Beach on Christmas Eve. They'll bring in this. It seems like Broadway. You go to Notre Dame on a Sunday for a Sunday mass. Right. In Little Haiti, and the choir is just like unbelievable. Oscar, listen, they wouldn't even let you try to sing. No, they would let you in. They would not let you try to sing.
I'm surprised about that. You know this because you probably look through the window. If you walk through the door, you catch on fire. Is that how it works? That's what I remember.
I'm an explorer. I like to try the different foods, the different things. And I mean, listen, who else in the country can wander in and just get a snapshot of what the Haitian community is like when it's right up the street.
Exactly.
It's right up the street. I mean, this is this jewel we have in this community. I mean, that's why I've been in Miami since 1993. I'm here because of all of this excellent. I don't want to live behind a wall.
That's right.
In a suburb and go to Applebee's. All due respect, Applebee's. That does not sound like living to me. That just sounds like pushing paper.
It's true.
You live in Miami, you got all these dynamic people, creative ideas. Tom Wolfe, Back to Blood. Everybody, if you haven't read Back to Blood, pull it out, listen to it. If you're on Spotify, you get free audio listens. It'll give you a fantastic book, and he'll show you how all of these different diasporas are all connected together. And at the end of the day, somehow we survive. And people want to be here.
Correct.
People aren't coming here because we're all the same color. We all believe it. They're coming here because of the diversity.
It's a melting pot.
And that's the part I don't. In fact, our president, he wants to put his library, his library in Miami. Why doesn't he put it in Palm Beach? He could easily put it in Palm Beach because he knows Palm Beach. Nobody wants to be there. It's all old people. He wants to be in Miami because this is the place.
It's on fire. That's what I hear. That's what people say.
Nobody's saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to go to West Palm Beach." Nobody's saying that. I want to go to Miami.
It's true.
Correct.
So, Vice Mayor, tell us, to close out, what is it that you want to communicate to our community to help them understand why this is so important?
So again, tomorrow, July 10th, 350,000 individuals will lose their work authorization, will not have access to a driver's license. They're going to be in fear. And if you're there, someone who's in the Haitian community, reach out, check in on them, see if they need some assistance. Maybe you're able to read a document for them, or you check on a neighbor to see how their loved ones are doing, because this is affecting everyone. If you're Haitian, you definitely know a couple of folks that are on TPS that are affected by this decision that the U.S. Supreme Court cleared for the Trump administration. And if you're here tonight and you want to take change, definitely join the rally tonight. It's tonight at 5:30 at the Little Haiti Cultural Arts Center. If you can, send an email to your U.S. senator and you tell them pass that act that the Congress has passed to extend TPS for 3 more years so individuals can work here. Over $1 billion is the economic impact for TPS holders. And there are nurses, there are people in our healthcare workers, there are our neighbors, there are, people who are taking care of our churches and our loved ones and our aging loved ones. So, if you're a community that cares, if you're a community that, love others, like we are called to do, stand with the Haitian community and see how you can provide support, because it's definitely a trying time. And yesterday was Venezuela, today is Haiti. Anyone who has TPS should be afraid right now and should be taking measures if they can to seek legal help, proper legal help, not just these scammers out here saying I can switch your status, but ensure that you can get that help for your loved one. And let's see if we can get TPS extended for our community.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. And Peter, thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
It's so generous of you to show up to our show.
The order took forever. I got to sit in the car. I wasn't even able to eat it. Jeez.
So thank you for joining us today, and please get involved and connect with your community. Reach out to someone, hold their hand, put your hand on their shoulder, make them understand that you appreciate what they're doing in our community, that you love them, that they're your neighbor, you understand, and you want to make a change that's going to keep us together, right? That's going to build bridges between our communities, not tear us apart. Today is a day. There's going to be this event at the Little Haiti Marketplace at 5:30. Please go there, Northeast 2nd Avenue and 59th Street. I'm going to be there. If you have some grudge against Peter, he's going to be there. You can talk to him personally and tell him. Thank you again, Vice Mayor, for coming, and enjoy the rest of your week.